And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more.
So this is another key point. It's saying ain't nobody gonna say teach a man, so there will be no teaching classes. Church, as we know, would be non-existent if this covenant had already taken place. Because there ain't no reason to say for Jehovah's Witnesses to be knocking on the door.
Right.
You know? Go ahead, brother.
This is part of the timeline where we come back into Jerusalem, and the Israelites know, the law in their heart, and then the other nations come to
absolutely
learn the Lord.
They know it. Everybody knows they plan. Everybody. These are after those days, and when we talk about those days, say the day of the Lord. After those days, the day when Christ come back, and then after those days, this is the way it's going to be. All nations don't know what they're supposed to do. Right. And ain't going to be no secret to them. We got to go up to Jerusalem once a year. Yeah. And they send their king. And he come and represent, not the whole world coming up, but just their representative of that nation comes up to Jerusalem. Because we got, 6 billion people on earth? Seven. Can't fit into Jerusalem. Let's get some more of this.
How about that second witness would be Ezekiel chapter 48, verse 34.
Read that.
Where it say, we're going to start at 33. And at the south side, 4,500 measures and 3 gates. 1 gate of Simeon, 1 gate of Issachar, and 1 gate of Zebulun. And at the west side, 4,500 with 3 gates, 1 of Gad and 1 of Asher, and 1 gate of Naphtali.
Right.
It was round about 18,000 measures.
That's right.
And the name of the city from that day shall be The Lord is There.
Right. You see this exact same thing in Revelation 20, I believe, when it talks about the kingdom. 21. The same gates. The same way. It's going to measure up perfectly. You're going to see it the same way. And there's 4 gates. There's 4 sides. And there's gates, 12 gates, but there's 4 on each side, or 3 on each side, and there's 4 corners, so it'll be Judah, Benjamin, Reuben on the north side, or however it be. You go through those gates to worship. Simeon and Levi, such as maybe on the south side, you got to go through there. If you a Levite, you can't be staggering the last minute. I'm just going to slip up through Judah. No, you still not.
No shortcuts.
Why are individual tribes going into different gates?
Because it recognizes our order. Christ is everything with order. Everything has to be with order. And just like you see in and out of the door, sometimes we don't care about what we see. We say out, we just pull it open and go through the outdoor. Now you run into traffic coming out. Get out of the way. And they looking at you. You see me coming in. Well, you see me coming out. The don't say out. I don't care what the don't say. So there's no discipline with us now. Everything must be by order when you're with Christ. If you say go through this door, go through this door. It's in like manner when the guy touched the ark of the covenant. Kept it from falling off there, touched it and pushed it back on there. Most High struck him down immediately. Everybody, David was upset with the Lord. Why is the Lord doing? He keep it from hitting the ground. He said, first of all, there's no obedience with this. Lightning would have never hit him if y'all did what I said. I said it should never be but on the shoulders of 4 priests. You put this rod through each side, it got rings in it, and then 1 priest up front, the other one in the back on both sides, and they lift it up.
And it was on
they carry it on man's shoulder. They went and get it and throw it on the back of an oxen cart. Yeah. Ooh, they hollering going to war. And an oxen dropping dung right in front of it. And then they step in a hole and they go and he touch it, they electrocute it. Yeah. And then all that, but only priests could touch it. These were regular men, soldiers. So it was totally out of order. Even though they looked like they were doing something righteous, it was unrighteous because it's out of order. That means we're doing it by our own thoughts. The Lord knows my heart. He knows what we really meant. He knows what we really want to do. No. You don't dictate to the potter, not the clay. The clay, listen, he molded you. You ain't molding him. Let's get some more of this.
Can I just
go ahead?
That story you just said, what was it?
Let me get that First Kings. I'll get it for you. Hold on just a second.
And while you're looking for that, just what you said, is that in Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts,
Right.
neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord.
Right.
For if the heaven are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways,
Right.
and my thoughts than your thoughts.
Right. Same thing, 2 Peter 1:20. The word is of no private interpretation, so you can't interpret it to mean what you want. So the Most High say it's either my way or the highway.
Hey,
What you got, Jay?
It's Revelation chapter 21, starting at 10, to answer the question that the brother had as far as the gates that we go through. There's Revelation chapter 21, starting at verse 10. And he carried me away in the spirit.
Sorry, bro. I got I got you.
Okay.
Wait.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. The wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Yeah, so you can read the whole chapter, it's banging, but that's just basic. We're gonna have our own lot.
That's right.
Everybody gonna have their own lot. So,
and not everybody gonna dwell in the kingdom. That's just where we're going to worship. There's lots when you get into Ezekiel 48, 47 chapters. You'll see that this portion is given to Dan, this portion is given to Judah. So there'll be living space for us. Outside the temple. We just go to the temple to worship. That's where Christ will be and the Father when they visit earth. That's where they'll be. We go to visit them for pure righteousness. Then we go back out into the land area, and still till the garden the way it was supposed to be at the beginning of time. But we fail from that. We find out what you just said.
Is this in our spiritual body?
No doubt. And what we're talking about our spiritual body, just think of Adam before we seen it. Same flesh like we looking at now, but a flesh that don't decay. You know how you get a few rings? I ain't got to worry about plastic surgery in here. They say a 100 years old man, if he died when he's 100, he's going to look like that baby right there at 100 years old. None of that. No Botox, none of that. You just however you resurrected, that's how you be from here on out, but there won't be no age.
And we can't have a wife at that point, right?
There'll be no marriage in the kingdom, only those that left of the tribes of Israel, according to Isaiah 4th chapter, 1 Corinthians 15:51. When those that remain alive, they will be changed. So all of us ain't gonna die a physical death. Okay, yeah. Just find where who was it? Uzziah. Look up Uzziah.